All right, Shalom. This is Hara 1 by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp. When I say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Harakak Wadash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and the elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. I want to go over a quick topic. It's going to be real fast. Dealing with the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right, just to help any new brothers, that's newly into the truth, or that's growing, and just get more understanding on not only the breakdowns but also the holy days. All right, and how we're supposed to keep them. Now you got other camps out there like Sakari, which I'll never forget. Which I don't know if they still hold to this mindset that the Feast of Unleavened Bread starts the day after the Passover, when that wouldn't be true. The Feast of Unleavened Bread starts on the night of the Passover. All right. Now again, Sakari is not my focus. It was just a statement made one of the brothers in this camp, and I just want to help edify with any clarity for Akim within this camp, or any new brothers and sisters, Akim, Akwatim, that may be watching our videos. All right. Exodus 12 and 6. Let's start from there. All right, because now let's start from 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and Aaron in the land of Egypt, and saying, This month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. All right. So that's when the Lord set us up, and He started us on what's called the lunar calendar. All right, pulling us away from that Egyptian calendar, and immediately put us right on time with the new moon calendar. All right, you get the word month from the word moon. Every new moon, you have a new month. So the Lord was saying this was going to be the first month. So this was around the month Abib, or Abiyabah, which means to spring up. All right, so this was around March or April. So now that's when the Passover falls. All right. Why is it the Passover? Because the Lord passed over the children of Israel, and He destroyed the Egyptians. All right. And the Lord passed over and delivered the children of Israel. See that? So that's what they call it, the Passover. Verse 3, Speak ye unto all the congregation of Israel. All right. Saying, in the 10th day of this month, they shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for an house. All right, so on the 10th day. But now we don't have our own farms, or you can go out to a farm and get a lamb, but it's not that serious. The Lord not worrying about the blood of lambs and goats and bullocks. The Lord is, Yahushua was our ultimate sacrifice, all right, our ultimate atonement for sin. So right now we're doing what? Rehearsing the righteous acts. Of course, a lot of these scriptures are going to be brought out on the night of the Passover. All right, but this is just a quick impromptu. And if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next unto his house take it according to the number of souls. Right. So let me get to the point, man. So we can read all this on the Passover. Verse 6. Ye shall keep it up until the 14th day of the same month. All right. So the 14th day. In this case, the 14th day at evening, if you're going to it according to the new moon, would land on the 16th. All right. It's a little tricky because you had the new moon came in during the day, the night of the new moon, so it's kind of tricky. But we're gonna stick to the 16th, right, at evening, so we can all give up the same vibration when we're praying together around the world. All right. And they shall take of the lamb and strike it on the 2 side posts on the upper door post of the houses wherein they shall eat it. Right. So this is supposed to happen on that night, but now that blood is sprinkled upon the elect of Israel. All right. And we become the doorways. Now, And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire. All right, so in that night, so on that evening, you're supposed to kill the Passover. So now we go to the grocery store, and we don't know if we're getting a pure lamb or not. All right, unspotted. So we're rehearsing the righteous acts. All right, it's really about your prayers and getting the leaven out of yourself, out of your camp, and out of your household. All right, physically and spiritually. And they shall eat the flesh at night, roast with fire. So that night is the what? The Passover. And unleavened bread. Why did they have to eat unleavened bread? Is because they didn't have time to put leaven in it. So they had to rehearse that. All right, when the Lord brought us out. They didn't have time to put leaven in the bread. So the Lord told them to eat in haste, eat with their shoes upon their feet, staff in hand, and be ready to move. And leaven deals with yeast. You can go online, look up yeast products, leavening agents, and it means to rise. All right, so anything that helps it rise, like a cake or a bread. So, and now, so they didn't have time to do that. So we're supposed to rehearse that. All right, so we eat it with unleavened bread now, in the mold, right, and with bitter herbs, they shall eat it. All right, so you're supposed to have bitter herbs, which would be like horseradish. If you can't find that, you can get some ginger. All right, so on that same night is the night that you eat the Passover meal with the feast, and that's the same night you're supposed to eat it with unleavened bread. So that would mean what? The feast of unleavened bread starts that night. All right. So now, that's right. So I'm gonna get down. I'm gonna skip to a little more points. Go down a little further. All right. So I can read all this on another time. There you go, verse 15. 7 days ye shall eat unleavened bread. All right. So after that night of the Passover, 7 days, um, you're gonna have what? No bread. All right. Nothing with leaven in it. You can eat flat bread or brittle bread, you know, but you're not gonna have any bread with yeast in it or leavening agents. All right. So on my calendar, so 7 days that would be evening. So I think it would be around what, 23rd. Either the 22nd or the 23rd of evening. I'm pretty sure we get the accurate day, but it's supposed to be 7 days. All right. So 7 evenings from that evening on the 16th. All right. So it would be like the 13th at evening. So that's when you can eat leaven again. Put leaven back into your house. It's right here. It's in the scriptures. It's real clear. It says here, 7 days shall ye eat unleavened bread. Even the first day ye shall put away leaven out of your house. For whosoever eateth leavened bread from the first day until the 7th day, that soul shall be cut off from Israel. All right. So you got to be careful, man, and keep your mind focused. I remember the first time I started keeping the unleavened bread a long time ago. You go into the grocery store, and next thing you know, they're giving out free bread at the door. And it'd be the bread you like. We got a free bread giveaway, you know. And in the first day, there shall be an holy convocation, and in the 7th day, all right, so it's going to be a Sabbath. There shall be an holy convocation. No manner of work shall be done in them, right? The Passover is a Sabbath, and the ending of the unleavened bread is going to be a Sabbath as well. Save that which every man must eat, that only may be done. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread, for in this selfsame day have I brought your armies out of the land of Egypt. Therefore, so in the same night that the Lord brought us out of Egypt, that's the feast of unleavened bread. What night is that? The Passover. All right, not the day following, but the same night. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever, meaning keeping it in order. And we observe it, all right, to the best of our ability. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month. All right, so in the month Abib, Abiyabah, on the 14th day of the month at evening, ye shall eat unleavened bread. There you go. So it's the 14th day of the month, the Passover. All right, so at evening, you're going to eat unleavened bread until the 1 and 21st day of the month at evening. All right, and that'd be 7 days. All right, so from 14 to 21, that you're not supposed to eat anything with leaven in it. Okay, and it gives you time to understand the parabolic message dealing with the leaven within ourselves. All right, what type of leaven the household may have, or yourself, or ourselves, or the camp. You know, your camp that you teach with amongst brethren. You got to get the leaven out. All right. Okay, so let me go to 20, one more verse. All right, so 7 days shall there be no leaven found in your houses. For whosoever eateth that which is leavened, even that soul shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, whether he be a stranger or born in the land. A stranger represents a Gentile Israelite. All right, so or born in the land. So at that time, during the time of the Exodus, around 1445 BC, that's when it happened, and I think it was around April, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so or born in the land. So you had Israelites that were living amongst the heathens, and they were called strangers. And so whether they were Israelites that were keeping the Passover that was born there, or that was born in other countries, all right, they still got to do it the correct way. Ye shall eat nothing leavened, in all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. All right. Now we would represent those strangers today, being called back to being Israelites. You know, not born in the land. So we're supposed to keep it the same way as well. So you shall eat nothing leavened, in all your habitations shall ye eat unleavened bread. All right, and it's very important. Okay, so let me get one more real quick. All right, now this is focused on, let me get some quick precepts dealing with the Passover that Yahweh Shai kept. All right, Luke 22:1. It says, now the feast of unleavened bread drew nigh. All right, which is called the Passover. So the feast of unleavened bread is what is called the Passover, all in the same night. All right, 7 evenings from that, that's when you end unleavened bread. And the chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him, for they feared the people, so they wanted to kill Yahushua, our king. Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. Right, you have a lot of Judases amongst Jake today. All right, you got a lot of Judas Iscariots creeping amongst the brotherhood. All right, but they always get exposed after a while, man. And all right, so the Lord exposed him, you know. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains how he might betray him unto them, right, Judas. And they were glad. Let me get to the point. Verse 7. Then came the day of unleavened bread when the Passover must be killed. All right, so the same night, man, you know. So the same night as the Passover and unleavened bread. All right. Isaiah 8 and 20. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, is it because there is no light in them? All right. Okay, I'm gonna move quick, man, because my phone will try to divide the videos up. I'm trying to fix that. Keep separating the videos. Matthew 26 and 17. Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahushua, saying unto him, Where wilt thou we prepare for thee to eat the Passover? All right. So the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, they came to Yahushua on the Passover. Not the next day, it was that same day, same night of the Passover. That's on the feast of unleavened bread. All right. This is Mark 14 and 1. After 2 days was the feast of the Passover and of unleavened bread. So the same day. And the chief priests and the scribes sought how they might take him by craft and put him to death. That goes hand in hand with the scripture I just read. All right. So it shows that the Passover and unleavened bread starts the same night. All right. One more precept and end with this. Judges 5 and 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing waters, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of Yahweh, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his village in Israel. Then shall the people of Yahweh go down to the gate. So in the place of drawing waters, that's slavery. All right. In the condition that we're in, being brought low, we're going to be what? Uh, drawing water deals with servitude. All right. Now, this is where we're going to be rehearsing the righteous acts. Now, it goes back to uh, Deborah, where she was telling the women by the wells that would go draw the waters to sing the songs that the men taught to them. The daughters taught to Deborah, and she told the daughters. And the men would sit by those women and read and learn everything, when they hear them singing the songs. All right, that was like our code, like the old slave songs back in the day. All right, a way for everybody to relearn everything, because a lot of men had died off at that time during the time of Deborah. But it's parabolic talking about us being in slavery. All right, in a low condition as a nation. In the place of drawing waters, there should they rehearse the righteous acts. So and that's what our nation would do to these heathens when we go into their land, like the Canaanites. They were made what? Hewers of wood and drawers of water. So over here in America, we're made to serve, all right? Hewers of wood and drawers of water. So this is the place where we're going to rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, and keeping the unleavened bread is a righteous act, all right? So we rehearse it for the kingdom. All right, I'm going to do this. 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, man. People got to let that mindset go, the old ways. All right, old way of thinking and the actions. Are ye, as ye are unleavened, for even Yahushua, our Passover is sacrificed for us. All right, so the unleavened and the Passover goes hand in hand, and we represent the unleavened lump, the new lump, and the Passover represents Yahushua. All right. Therefore, let us keep the feast not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. All right. So, yeah, with that, man, I'm going to say, Shalom.